Detective Marcus Green sat in his unmarked police car, watching the front of the house where his suspect was hiding out. He had been staking out the place for hours, waiting for the right moment to make his—
Come on, Tony. Make a move. I don't have all night.
Suddenly, he saw movement at the front door. A man stepped out and looked around before disappearing back inside.
That's him. Tony Ramirez.
He reached for his radio and called in for backup.
This is Detective Green. I've got a visual on Tony Ramirez. I need backup to move.
A crackle came through the radio. Copy that, detective. Backup is en route. Marcus waited, his heart pounding in his chest, as he watched the house. He knew that Tony was a dangerous man, wanted for multiple counts of murder and—
Come on, guys. Hurry up.
Suddenly, he saw movement again. This time, Tony was walking towards a car parked on the street.
That's it. He's making a run for it.
He started his car and pulled out onto the street, following Tony's car from a safe distance.
Dispatch, this is Detective Green. I'm following Tony Ramirez. He's heading east on 6th Street.
Copy that, detective. Backup is en route. Marcus watched as Tony weaved through traffic, narrowly avoiding collisions at every turn. He knew that he couldn't let Tony get away.
Come on, guys. We're losing him.
As Tony's car turned down a dark alley, Marcus saw his chance. He hit the gas and raced towards the alley, following Tony's car as it disappeared into the dark.
This is it. The moment of truth.
And with that, Marcus followed Tony into the alley, ready to confront him and bring him to justice. The alley was dark and narrow, barely wide enough for two cars to pass. Marcus drove slowly, his headlights cutting through the darkness. He saw Tony's car up ahead, parked in the shadow.
Looks like he's abandoned his car. He must be on foot.
He pulled his car to a stop and stepped out, his hand resting on his gun.
This is Detective Green. Tony Ramirez, come out with your hands up.
There was no response. Marcus moved slowly down the alley, his eyes scanning the shadows for any sign of movement.
Tony, I know you're here. There's nowhere to run. Come out and surrender.
Suddenly, he heard a noise behind him. He spun around, his gun at the ready, but saw nothing.
Who's there? Show yourself.
Still, there was no response. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. He knew that he was in a dangerous situation.
All right, Tony. If you're not going to come out, I'm coming in.
He took a deep breath and stepped forward, his gun held out in front of him. As he moved deeper into the alley, he saw something lying on the ground up ahead. It was a body.
Oh, God. No.
He ran to the body, his heart pounding in his chest. It was a young woman, lying in a pool of blood.
Dispatch, this is Detective Green. We need an ambulance at the corner of 7th and Jackson. We've got—
He knelt down beside the woman, checking for a pulse. It was too late. She was already dead.
Damn it. Tony must have killed her.
He stood up, his eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of the suspect. But it was too late. Tony was gone, and Marcus was left with another victim of his violent crimes. Marcus Green stood at the crime scene, watching as the forensics team combed the area for clues. He felt a deep sense of anger and frustration. Tony Ramirez had managed to slip away again, leaving another innocent—
Anything yet?
Forensics officer. Not yet, detective. We're still processing the scene. But it looks like she was stabbed multiple times.
Any witnesses?
Forensics officer. Not that we've found so far. But we're canvassing the area. Marcus clenched his fists. He knew that Tony was out there somewhere, hiding and waiting for his next victim.
We need to find him, and fast. He can't keep getting away with this.
As he spoke, his phone rang. It was his partner, Detective Hernandez.
Green here.
We've got a lead on Tony, Marcus. He was spotted leaving a bar on the other side of town.
All right, I'm on my way. Meet me there.
He hung up the phone and turned to the forensics officer.
Keep me updated. And bag everything you find. We need to catch this guy.
And with that, Marcus got back into his car and sped off towards the bar, his mind racing with the possibilities of what he might find there. Marcus arrived at the bar and saw his partner, Hernandez, waiting for him outside. They quickly conferred and went inside, scanning the dimly lit room for any sign of Tony.
Did anyone see him?
No one's talking. But I've got a friend on the force who says he's seen Tony around here before.
Marcus nodded, his eyes darting around the room. He spotted a man sitting alone in a corner booth, his face obscured by a baseball cap pulled low over his—
That him?
Could be. Let's go find out.
They approached the booth and the man looked up, revealing Tony Ramirez's face.
Well, look who it is. Detective Green, right?
That's right, Tony. You're under arrest for the murder of Maria Rodriguez.
Tony smirked and leaned back in his seat.
I don't know what you're talking about, Detective. I haven't killed anyone.
Save it. We found the body in the alley where you were spotted earlier tonight. You're going away for a long time.
Tony's expression changed, his eyes narrowing with anger.
You don't have any proof.
We don't need proof. You're a known criminal with a history of violence. You fit the profile, Tony.
Tony looked around the room, sizing up his options. Marcus and Hernandez stood ready, their hands on their guns.
I'm not going back to jail. You'll have to kill me first.
He made a move to draw a weapon, but before he could, a group of police officers burst into the bar, guns drawn. Police. Everyone get down. Tony was quickly subdued and handcuffed. Marcus felt a wave of relief wash over him. They had finally caught their man.
Good work, everyone. Let's get him out of here.
As they led Tony out of the bar and into a waiting police car, Marcus couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. They had solved the case and brought a dangerous criminal to justice.
Another one bites the dust.